So the next thing, unless there's anything else, we will move on to showing a video honoring Veterans Day.
There are sons and daughters, our mothers and fathers, our grandparents, neighbors, and friends.
I arrived in Saigon at Tan Son Nhut Air Base, the middle of December of 1970. It was a very, very interesting year. They didn't have a job for me, so personnel sent me over to the Office of History. They said they need a clerk, and the clerk rotated 3 weeks ago, so they sent me over there. And we recorded the history of everything that went on in Vietnam.
They served in 1,000 different ways in places spanning the globe.
Okay, I arrived in Korea, actually the 18th Fighter Bomber Wing, in January of 1953. And they assigned me to the 18th Fighter Bomber Wing in the intelligence operation. And when I got there, the 18th only had the F-51 fighter planes, and of course they were propeller driven, and they didn't do well against the MiG jets. So a few days later, we got the F-86 fighter jets. Actually, they were fighter bomber jets. They were combination fighter and bomber. And part of my job was to set up the target for the pilots, usually the following day. And usually there would be targets for the bombs that they had. They carried 2 500-pound bombs, one under each wing.
Watching, waiting, and ready at a moment's notice to give what was asked of them. So now we pause to express our gratitude and love toward those who served. Each swore a sacred oath to protect, and each bravely stood in our place around the world, all so that we could stand secure in the land of the free. Words like sacrifice, honor, commitment, integrity, bravery, and courage hardly scratch the surface of our gratitude for their service. While our words fail against the enormity of expressing our thanks for all you've done, we still raise our voices and honor you in our hearts, which are filled with the deepest kind of gratitude. To all of you, we pause to say, thank you for your service.
All right. Mr. George Barlow put that video together, so thank you very much, George, for that. All right, so do I have a proclamation to read? We have several honored guests here tonight. I'll put this on. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to read these things, and as I read your name, if you'd be so kind as to join me up front here. So this is, we're going to start with Desert Storm, which was August 2nd, 1990 through February 28th, 1991. Mr. John Thomas was a staff sergeant for the U.S. Air Force, FTD instructor for the SR-71 and the U-2. Welcome, sir. And I'll have Mr. John Flo, Tech Sergeant for U.S. Air Force, SR-71 Crew Chief, FTD instructor for the SR-71 and the U-2. Welcome, John. On to the Cold War, 1947 to 1991. Mr. George Barlow, our picture taker. He's a sergeant. George is a sergeant with the U.S. Marine Corps, stationed in Yuma, Arizona. He was a part of a Harrier jet training base, and during the Beirut bombing, he was stationed at Camp Pendleton. The Vietnam War, November 1st, 1955 to April 30th, 1975. Mr. Tom Walther. Tom was a captain in the United States Air Force, OTS Distinguished Graduate, a 2018 Veteran of the Year for Assemblyman Gallagher, a VP for California Military Officers Association, and of course a distinguished member and participant of the Beale Military Liaison Commission. Mr. Bob Fischetti. A captain in the California State Guard, prior United States Air Force and United States Air Force Active Reserves. He's the newest veteran. He just served his final active duty day recently, and he served in Grenada. Mr. Neil Brookman, come on down, sir. He was a sergeant in the United States Army. He was Army 1st Infantry Division. He received a Purple Heart, a Bronze Star, and an Army Commendation Medal with V device, which is Valor recipient. Big deal right there. Welcome, sir. The Korean War, June 25th, 1950 to July 27th, 1953. Carl Poteet, sorry. Sir. Very good. Staff Sergeant, United States Air Force, assigned to the 18th Fighter Bomber Wing at Osan, and another Bronze Star recipient. Welcome, sir. World War II. Yes. World War. All right. All right. I got it right. Just the momentum here. World War II, September 1st, 1939 until September 2nd, 1945. Mr. William Burke. Where are you? Come on up. Okay, so we're going to do that again. World War II, 1935, 1945. Mr. William Burke, right here. A pleasure. Mr. Burke was a corporal, United States Air Corps, stationed in Lincoln, Nebraska. He was a flight instructor. He moved to Yuba City in 1968 and served as Yuba City Fire Chief from 1968 to 1980. You remember right here. So we have proclamations for each and every one of these gentlemen. Yeah, sure. Go ahead. So they read, whereas the people of this nation are grateful to the veterans of our armed forces who have faithfully discharged the duties of citizenship and nobly served in times of peace and peril, and whereas among the resources from which our country draws its strength, we hold in high esteem the millions of living veterans of our military, and we treasure the freedom preserved for us by the sacrifice of many, while Yuba City is honored to be the home of over 4,800 veterans. And whereas Congress, by an act approved June 1st, 1954, expanded the significance of November 11th by declaring a legal holiday and designating it as Veterans Day in honor of our veterans. And whereas Yuba City citizens and Americans throughout the United States live in freedom because of the contributions and sacrifices made by those who have served and those who continue to serve. And whereas these sacrifices are also made by the family members who support these men and women who preserve the liberties that enrich both this community and the nation. And whereas Yuba City recognizes the sacrifices you have made in answering the call of our country and our city and your continued servant leadership by caring for and protecting our community. And whereas on this Veterans Day, Yuba City remembers that we are forever indebted to you and the service members who have fought and died in defense of our country. And whereas we reflect upon the enormous contributions made to our Commonwealth and country by you, we also recognize your calling to service has never ceased, and you remain committed to sustaining this legacy of unyielding patriotism. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Sean Harris, Mayor of the City of Yuba City, and on behalf of your entire City Council, be hereby recognized November 11th, 2020, as Veterans Day, by recognizing you for your service to our city, and I call this observance to the attention of all Yuba City citizens. Done today, November 3rd, 2020. Thank you very much, gentlemen. You're good. Thank you so much. Bob, love you, guys. Okay. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. Gentlemen. John, love you. Okay. What a pleasure it is to be a part of something so special, recognizing the service to our country, to our community of these individuals. I want to thank Councilman Shaw, of course, city staff, for the work that took to gathering this information, putting this presentation together tonight. Very well done, and thank you very much. All right.